Hi, Linda here. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about filters. So the way that you would add a filter to a page is that you would select the header row. Now the header row is the row in which you have all of the titles to what goes in that row. So for us it is going to be on row 1. Once we highlight that, we're going to click on the tab of data, which I've already selected, but normally your computer would start out with it on home. I'm going to come over to data and select it. You can click on the filter button right here, and that puts these little drop downs on the page. And then you can click off. Now what that's going to do is it's going to now filter this page. Now being that this page doesn't have any information on it, we're going to go ahead and come over here to our sample log, and we're going to add a filter to it and see what we can do with that. So our page has data on it. We're going to click filter. Everything now has a filter on it. So let's say that I only want to see information on this Taglarini name. I can hit this filter button here, and I can uncheck anything that does not have his name or her name, Lucille, and I can hit OK. I have now filtered everything that is about Lucille, and now I know what I need to do or what I found out about her. Looking here, I see that we have death record, death data, and birth data, and a census record. Scrolling down, that's all we have. So other things that we might need to find out on her is, did she marry? And if she did, we're probably going to need to get that marriage date and maybe where she's buried. But this kind of eliminates all the rest of the information that we have in our log, in our research log, to tell us just about one particular person. And as you can see right here, the filter button is there, that little funnel. All the rest of these have arrows. But that funnel is there saying, okay, you're filtered. Another way to tell if you're filtered or not is if you look at these numbers over here on the side, they are now blue. If I take the filter button off and I just go select all, it's no longer filtered, and these numbers are no longer blue. So that's how you can tell if the data that you have has been filtered or not. Now let's say I am actually going to go to the Social Security Administration building and look up records, and I need to see who all do I need to look for while I'm there. So I'll just go into my filter under repository and make sure that only Social Security Administration is checked. And I look, and so when I go there, not only can I look for Lucille, but I can also look for Anthony. That way I'm in one building at one time, and I can pull all the records that I need to find. So we'll take that one off and select all and hit OK. And let's see here. So let me see how much information I have that is secondary. So as you can see, you can filter any one of the columns on this spreadsheet. So I have 2 pieces of information that are secondary from personal knowledge, both about Lucille. So that means I need to definitely find some, maybe some primary information on her if I were searching her. So we'll check select all and hit OK and go back. So that's pretty much filters. So where a lot of people were wanting to create a research log for each individual, it's really not necessary. You can just put everything on one sheet, and then you can filter by that person's name. Now I know a lot of people have changed their research log to break up the name so that you could sort by first name or by last name. So if you have separated your research log into two different names like I believe I have here. Yes, I have surname and first name. So I could then take this and filter by just the surname and pull all of the people with the last name Smith to see what I needed to search or what I've got. And the region will also help. So let's say I have Smiths in both Texas and Minnesota, but I'm going to Minnesota on a trip. I could take my region and change it to Minnesota, and it would pull up all the information that I need to look for or that would be in Minnesota. Now, I understand we're on the research log, and that's where we've already done our research. But the same thing would apply on our to-do list. This is my to-do list right now. So I could highlight this row, throw my filter in, and let's say that, there were other names on here. I could just say I want to search all my DB surnames. Of course, everything that's there is going to come up because my research log or my to-do list is so short. But it would pull up everything that I needed. If I put in here, added a column that said region, I could then, when I went to Minnesota, do a research on all the DBs and see who all was in Minnesota or who I thought was in Minnesota at that time. And I could do their research while I'm in Minnesota. That way I make the most of my time and I do as much research on my ancestors in that one location. Especially if you're taking trips to do your research, you want to make the best of that time and make sure you gather as much information from them as you can. Okay, so now, but for those who do want to have separate research logs, the easiest way to make a copy of a log is to take the log and you're going to right click and you're going to click move or copy. You're going to hit create a copy and then you can put it right in next to the first one. So then what you could do is you could take this research log, right click again, hit rename, and I could make one for each surname that I have. So I could go DB research log. So all my DB research will go on here. On my next log, I'm going to rename it. And we're going to call this, say, Grant research log. Now I have a research log for DB and a research log for Grant. If you do this, I highly recommend that you make one copy of a research log, of the research log, and you just name it Master Research Log or research log template or something along those lines, so that you know no information goes on this log. But if I then came up with another name, I could then take my master research log, make a copy of it, and put it in here, and then right click on it, change the name, and give it the name of another surname that I'm researching, Culver Research Log. That way, no data is being put on the Culver Research Log where my DB Research Log may have information as well as my Grant, and I don't want to mix those names. But again, making a tab for each name is not necessary as long as you use the filters, because I could have a surname here of Grant, a surname here of DB, as well as a surname of Culver. Okay, and when I go into filter, I can just select my DB surname, and that's all that's going to pull up on my research log. Or I can pick the Culver name, and then that would be all that shows up. And as you can see, it jumps from 3 1, 3, and then goes down to 52, which means that Culver is on line 3 and they're nowhere else in the research log. So that way all of your data is in one location, and then you can filter it to sort it so that you can see only the information that you want to see. So again, these particular logs, I'm going to go ahead and delete them, are not necessary. You can easily just keep your research log as one page and then just add those filters. So hopefully this helps explain filters and how to use them. And I look forward to seeing you or speaking with you on my next video. Have a good day.